Okay, let's do a free money question of the day, Andrew. Let's give somebody a chance to win $100 in cash. It's from the WIBX Law Firm. Call 736. What number do you want to do?
736-0186. Caller 7.
Okay, caller 7. So we're going to go
I honestly thought.
We're going to go with the 736-0186 number?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, it's probably a good idea.
I don't want the other line to get loaded up.
Caller number 7 right now, 736-0186. Your chance to win $100 in cash from the WIBX Law Firm. All right, we'll get into that coming up. So coming up next hour, we're also going to talk to this Utica College senior, Nick Woodson, who did pro day over the weekend at Fordham University, and he had like 4 or 5 different NFL teams looking at him.
That's really cool.
Which is a big deal coming up. Now, Division III, they're Division III, right?
Yeah.
Didn't who played? Somebody played. Was it Jackson for the Bills? Who played Division III?
Yeah, Fred Jackson.
Fred Jackson, I think, played Division III football.
I believe you're right,
and ended up getting picked up in the NFL and played and think about how good he was, huh?
Well, you got to look to it. Some of the other greats, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they were high. Well, they were later draft picks.
Yeah, they didn't play Division III though, did they?
I think Aaron Rodgers early on played at a community college.
I'm pretty sure he played high school. I think Aaron Rodgers played high school ball.
Pop Warner's not out of the question.
I think he did. Oh, Lordy. All right, who's our caller here? We're looking at Marianne and Utica. Good morning, Marianne. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You ready to go here?
Yes.
Now, I gave you a clue on this earlier in the hour. I'm just going to give you this clue. I talked about this person earlier in the hour when I was speaking to John Zogby. Okay? I'm not sure that you caught that, but it's a little tip here. Because otherwise, this might be a tough question, but who knows? Maybe you know your presidents. This is presidency action here. Presidency, are you ready?
Yes.
For $100 in cash. Who was the 7th president of the United States of America? Ready? Go.
Was it Jackson?
You're going to go with, first name would be Andrew. Andrew Jackson. Is it Andrew Jackson? It is! Yeah! Wow! Nice. Hot damn! Can't believe I said that.
Can't either.
So, was it the clue earlier in the hour, or did you just know that?
No, it was the clue.
It was the clue. We talked about Andrew Jackson during John Zogby. And Andrew Jackson, the 7th president of the United States, means $100 in cash for you.
I love giving away $100 so early.
Marianne,
well, thank you very much.
Congratulations from the WIBX Law Firm, Andrew and Joseph WIBX. I'm going to rip that $100 bill right out of their pockets just for you. All right, sit tight.
Thank you.
Andrew's going to take care of you. Well, there we go. Andrew Jackson was the 7th president of the United States of America.
Congratulations. Of course, we do the $100 free money question of the day every day, at least once. I just want to follow up on these D3 players. I've got a list here. Since 2000, some of the bigger names that we hear about often. Cecil Shorts, who's played for Jacksonville and Houston. He went to Mount Union. Also from Mount Union is Pierre Garçon, of course, a standout with the Colts and now the Washington Redskins. Stephen Hauschka, the kicker from or for the Seattle Seahawks. And then Fred Jackson, this says he went to Is that how you say it? COE? I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. That's part of the beauty of this whole thing, right?
The undrafted running back, COE, not familiar with the school, has been the diamond in the rough for the Bills. Of course, we know that. And
I wanted to throw out some quotes here, and you tell me if these are Andrew Jackson quotes or Donald Trump quotes.
Okay. This is fun.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Boy, I'd like to punch him, get him out of my rally.
I'm going to go with Andrew Jackson.
No, that was Donald Trump.
Okay. That was an easy one. I should have known it.
One man with courage makes a majority. Was that Andrew Jackson or Donald Trump?
I'm going to go Jackson.
That was Andrew Jackson.
All right. All right.
It is to be regretted that the rich and powerful too often bend the axe of government to their own self-purposes. This could be a trick one. Yeah. Is that Andrew Jackson or Donald Trump?
Okay, because it's a reference to the rich and powerful, I'm going to say it's Donald Trump.
That is Andrew Jackson. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There we are.
Heaven will be no heaven to me if I do not meet my wife there.
I'm going to go Andrew Jackson.
Good guess. Good guess. How'd you come up with that one?
Well, Trump's been married how many times?
That was such a toughie. Okay, here we go. There is no pleasure in having nothing to do. The fun is having lots to do and not doing it.
Trump?
That is Andrew Jackson.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I've always been afraid of banks.
Well, I'm going to say Trump.
That is Andrew Jackson.
Oh,
Yeah.
are these all Andrew Jackson?
I'm killing you. The Trumps are too easy.
Well, the way you said it made me think it was Trump.
Here's a few others. You mean I've always had a lot of that?
Yeah.
Part? Yeah.
Yes.
Andrew Jackson or Donald Trump. Elevate those guns a little lower. That's Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson, of course, killed a man in a duel, or almost killed a man. One or the other.
There's a lot of
And a
stories
gun
about
duel.
it. Yeah, there's a lot of stories about Andrew Jackson, but they had a Broadway musical that was written about him called Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson, and I think it was about how he was kind of Donald Trump-esque himself during his presidency.
That's what this whole thing is about, Andrew.
Yeah, I know.
I'm making the comparison here. You're right. I mean, there were a lot of things very similar, and what we were talking about John Zogby about is that the Republican Democrats, or Democrat Republicans, whatever the name of that party was, we were a one-party system at the time. John Quincy Adams, I think, was the favored one, and he ended up becoming president. He did one term, but they pushed him through. And there was a deal brokered very similar to what's being talked about right now. They didn't feel that Andrew Jackson, they thought he was just a loudmouth. They thought he was dangerous, an opportunist. They didn't want him to be president, so they pushed him out. But 4 years later, after a very difficult John Quincy Adams presidency, Andrew Jackson then became president of the United States. So, there are similarities here.
Well, and Donald Trump is going to be the new face of the $20 bill.
The wisdom of man never yet contrived a system of taxation that would operate with perfect equality. Well, that's not Donald Trump. And peace above all things is to be desired, but blood must sometimes be spilled to obtain it on equitable and lasting terms. Andrew Jackson there too. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Go say hi to your mommy. Go say hi to your mommy. Who was that? Well, we know who that was, right?
Uh-huh.
We'll talk some more about this Donald Trump stuff coming up. Hold tight. First news killer in the morning at WIBX.